wanted you to explain really, where the idea came from. Sounds like an amazing idea.
Yeah, the MentBall Cup.
Yeah.
How's that for a little name? I thought about, 'cause it's mental health, I had to think about the cup name. Do you know what? It's just like going back before we click record, it was about speaking about COVID. A lot of boys, been released, struggling with their mental health, and they can't play football because everything stopped. A couple of people committed suicide. So I'm just seeing all this come up on social media, and obviously it hit home to me because I've experienced some injuries myself, and I've not experienced suicidal thoughts, but I've been in dark places where you feel, let's say, frustrated. You feel a bit almost, it's not really your fault. Injuries, no one can help them, and they can kind of have an effect on you. 'Cause all you want to do at the end of the day is play football. So, and I've been released, I've been rejected, going on trials, but then I've also had the highs of playing for Chelsea, winning cups, UEFA Youth Leagues, FA Cup. So I've kind of been on both ends of the scale, right?
Yeah.
I'm only 23, so like I've experienced all this, and I kind of felt like there will be boys struggling, and I kind of want to be a voice. I want to be someone that they feel they can maybe speak to, because I've kind of been there, or I can help relate to what they've been through, right? So I thought, what can I do? And I thought, a tournament, perfect. Everyone loves a bit of six-a-side. I'm playing it tonight, funny enough, after this. I just love playing six-a-side, and I thought I'll create my own tournament. So basically it started off with 12 teams, 2 groups of 6, and I just put it out on my socials just to see the response, see who wanted to play. And, I had loads of teams come back saying they want to play, it's for a great cause, etc. So I've been trying to work out with my dad. He's like a very organized guy, and I was trying to work out how we're going to get so many teams, how we're going to do the groups. We've only got a certain pitch size, all factors in. And we've managed to, I think I'm going to do 16 teams of 2 groups of 8, and just go through like a quarter-final stage, semi-final, final. It's £10 cash on the day per player. So when they turn up, everyone gives their bit, and hopefully we'll raise over £1,000, which will be great. I've got the charity Tape to Talk,
yeah,
which is a lad who's been playing at Watford. He's been at Chelsea. And to be fair to him, off his own back, he started it, Tape to Talk. So, it's real good from his part. And that's it, really. Just, we're going to get my camera guy down on the day, film it. Because I'm shooting a documentary at the moment, funny enough.
wow.
And it's all just going to come into, this day is going to be added into my documentary about it. So, yeah, it's just trying to be positive and have a good effect on it,
Yeah, I'm happy to get behind you on this one. Not only because of the subject matter, but your documentary as well, and Tape to Talk. It's all brilliant stuff. Funnily enough, actually, while you're here, I'm actually injured myself. So yeah, these are my crutches, and I've done my meniscus, tore my meniscus. So yeah, it's a dangerous game, isn't it? So yeah, I know how you're feeling a bit. But
do that.
Yeah, six-side play football as well. Sure. So I wouldn't want to play against you probably, because it'd be pretty hard for me. But play like every week. I love it more than the job, really. But yeah, sure. I mean, I know the ups and downs really that can bring, but yeah, what was interesting, I know I've seen you play so much. Like I watched Chelsea done this job for like 6 years, and I've seen you come through since like really young. But what was interesting really about talking to you is like, how you're giving back now, how you're doing this, how you're known, how you got a big social media following. But yeah, like, you're willing to be vulnerable. Can you tell me a bit about, the moments that you felt vulnerable? Because, you're well known, people expect a lot from you, and you've had to take those knocks, haven't you, in your career?
Of course. I think I'm playing at Chelsea. I'm 18 years of age, everything's going well. You're playing the 23s. Like I said, you've won some competitions that, for people looking back, when you look back on your career, you don't really look about the academy days, but the ones that we've won, people would still look at that. You know, like I said, the FA Youth Cups and UEFA Youth Leagues. It's, you know, we won what we, you know, I won kind of the best things you could. You know, I was in an unbelievable team. You know, I had some talented boys. I was fortunate with that. So everything's good, and then all of a sudden injuries start, and so I've had 10 hamstring injuries between 18 and 21.
Yeah, started with Stevenage, right? You got your loan spell got hit with injuries, and then your first professional club as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like yeah, like I said, sort of 18 it started, and then I kept having reoccurrences. The first one was Exeter. We played them in the EFL Cup when the 23s used to play against the first team. I went down, we played Exeter away, and after like 30 minutes, you know, it just went. And then from then, it's just like been a reoccurrence of I'd maybe get back for 1-2 games, and then it would go again. So I was just stop-start for like 2 years straight.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've experienced the side of being injured and knowing, okay, you know, you're on your own kind of thing. You got to, and to be fair to myself, I've always had a real strong mindset. You know, I've always kind of seen, oh, there's no point in getting down about it because it's only going to make me worse in effect with my mindset. And it's easier said than done because, you know, a lot of people struggle, and I'm not saying that they're not strong enough. It's just, you know, I was fortunate in that respect. So I kind of just battled through. And of course there was dark days, and you're just like, I think you ask yourself, why me? Because I didn't deserve it, type of thing. You know, I'm not acting off anything. I'm not, let's say, taking drugs or doing stuff that you think, oh, well, you deserve that. Then it kind of all just came onto me, and you got to deal with it. So yeah, I've had dark days with that. And then I had a collapsed lung as well, which kind of came on top of the hamstring injury. So that it was combined, both of those.
I didn't know about that one. Where was that?
Yeah, so basically, like, long story short, I kept having hamstring injuries, right? So I said to Chelsea, well, we had a meeting with all the top physios and doctors at the club, and was like, no, we need to change kind of what I'm doing because it's not working effectively. Because it was so unique what happened to me, they didn't really know what to pinpoint what to do, because I was always doing the strength work and my hamstring was all weak, but it kept going, and everyone was like, well, we can't really work out what's going on with you. And then you know, I went and saw a surgeon in London. I was there for 5 minutes, right? Imagine that. I've gone in, he's gone, oh, I've checked all your scans and it's so obvious you need surgery, you know. And I've been out for, like, let's say 18 months at the time, and it was going to be another 9 to 12 months after surgery. So when I got told that news, I was thinking, like, wow, I miss so much football. I'm kind of at that stage in your career where you're trying to break into first teams now. I think from 18 to maybe 21, 20, those are the years that you want to be ready. You know, if you get the call, you're going to break through. And I spent them years kind of on the physio bed, right? So I flew to Barcelona and had a stem cell treatment, which is like some high tech shit that they done. And then I flew back, and they was like to me, oh, go, you got 10 days now, do what you want. They said, you've been through a lot, we understand that. He said, like, maybe go on holiday, just relax your mind. I had a girlfriend at the time, so I just said to her, like, yeah, let's, you know, they've just given me 10 days. Where should we go? So we decided to go to New York, and it was like November time. Footballers never get to go away then. It was like near Christmas kind of. So we went to New York, right? Unreal, proper nice trip. And but because I flew, like, and I was only there for 4 nights, where I've been in the sky on the plane, you didn't get as much, what's the word, like oxygen, is it oxygen, like, to your lungs. So when I've got back, the first day into training for my rehab to start again, I was driving to training, and it happened as I was driving to training. Like, I just had a collapsed lung. I managed to pull up to the training ground and got rushed to hospital, and they found out what it was. So that put me back 2 months with no exercise on top of that. So at this point, I was literally like, I must have killed someone in my previous life. Like, what the fuck is going on? And look, you got to laugh about it. Like, I was just like, wow, what is going on? And so all of that period, I was going through all that.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously when I get back fit, it's now, I've been injured for so long that I'm not getting a new contract at the club. I had a great relationship with Neil Bath, you know, I still do. And I went into his office. It was a simple conversation. It was like, look, we've given you a contract whilst you've been injured. And since that, you've been injured. We can't give you another one. And I was like, Neil, like, I get it. I respect it. And to be honest, I think it's time for me to have a fresh start somewhere else anyway. And he was like, cool. So then the trial period started where I've not played. I know I'm good enough without being arrogant, but I know my ability is good enough to not have to go on trial. But that's life. And then I had to go on trial. So you get back fit, and then you're going to go and try and get a contract somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I went to about 6 different teams. So I've experienced that, being that boy, going into, you know, all these different clubs. And then I ended up going to Coventry on an 18-month deal. First team was great. Made my debut a couple of days after signing. It was in front of like 26,000. It was like, you know, they're playing League One. You know, it's proper good. And then I had some more hamstring injuries being there. So then it's another couple setbacks. You know, you're not playing. Crucial timing of it, where pre-season and you do it, and it's like you're not in the plans. And then, so then I didn't get a new contract there, and then COVID hits and it affects everyone. So I've kind of been that guy. Do you know what I mean? Where I've been rejected, I've been injured, but I've also been, you know, fortunate enough to get a pro contract at Chelsea growing up, playing the academy and win things and show what I can do. So yeah, my journey's been proper like a roller coaster. Yeah. So that's why I'm doing.
I think when you're a footballer, you have to take a lot of blows no matter what. Like, even if you make it, you have to take a lot of blows, you know, and you know, you've still got plenty of time on your side and stuff, and we'll get into that. But like, how important, because we were talking before off camera, how important, like, well, your family you're really close to, you got a great family and stuff. Like, how much do you think that, like, having that good upbringing at Chelsea and also in your family has sort of helped you deal with the disappointments? Because at Chelsea, you also get, like, you know, the you know, psychotherapists and all that, don't you? And you get a great education, and then you also have your family. So how much has all that sort of helped protect you against sort of these blows?
I think, yeah, I suppose because I've gone through it and experienced it, that's why I feel bulletproof now in my mindset. Only because I've been there and experienced it to know what it's like. But like you said, yeah, being at Chelsea, the upbringing, you know, huge club, best facilities, you know, they've got the best this, the best that. Then I've got my family, which fortunate enough to have, you know, not everyone gets a family that are supportive or are there for you when you're in your dark moments. And lucky enough, I've had that. So I've been fortunate 100% in that respect. But this is the thing, not everyone's like me and has, let's say, gets to play for Chelsea and gets those opportunities and gets a family that are there for them. And that's you know, the documentary is all about covering so many things about football and young players and what can almost be done, more can be done at clubs for sure. And just basically, it was basically me just saying, okay, I want to do a quick documentary. It was meant to be quick, just saying, okay, this is a bit about my story, and it's not to just show everyone, oh, this is what I've been through. It ain't that at all. It's just to paint the picture for these boys to go, oh, he might understand because he's kind of been there. And I wanted to just show that I'm there for the boys if they need me. You know, let's not get into loads of detail about this, that, and the other. It's just a simple message that I'm here. If you want to reach out to me as a player, and you might have struggled because I've been there. You know, that's as simple as that.
Yeah, I think you're brave enough to talk about disappointments, but like, you know, as a man myself as well, like, you know, a lot of us are quite macho and we don't really speak about our feelings. And, you know, in our 20s, we all go through pretty hard times. But have you found that, like, there's a lot of people who are quite closed in football as well, or who can't sometimes talk about what they want to talk about? And I guess that's kind of like what you're aiming to do is, like, you know, let yourself be that person who people can come to. But have you found people can be quite closed as well because of just the way football is, like the pressure, the pressure to succeed, like all sorts of things, you know, just not wanting to lose money even maybe because the rewards are so high, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%. There'll be a lot of boys in every changing room. There'll be a player in every changing room, I reckon, that struggles. But like you said, because it's kind of like an alpha male. You got loads of men. I'm talking about obviously football on the men's side now. Because obviously, I don't know what it's like for the women, but from playing it myself, you got a group of men all in the changing room, or a group of boys coming through academies. You're all together. You're going to have some big egoed ones in there, a bit of an alpha male thing. You kind of don't want to, potentially, if you're one of those boys struggling, speak out there, because a bit of banter goes on in the changing room, and maybe it could go too far. They don't understand. It's just there's a crossing the line. It's a thin line, because you're all for having fun, right? You're with your mates. You just want to enjoy the football side and in the changing room, being around, wherever you are at the club. So, and the thing is, at clubs, right? This is what I'm saying. If you're struggling at a club, you're not going to go and speak to the manager, I don't think, if you're a player. And the reason is because they might think, oh, he's a bit weak then, or, oh, well, I'm not going to pick him for that game. And those are the facts. That's how it is, Or you might not go and speak to an academy manager because he's the academy manager. He might think, oh, we'll get rid of him. I can't speak on that happening, but I'm just thinking, okay, this is probably what will happen. That's why they're almost probably a little bit worried to go and open up to someone like those people. There's not really anyone at these clubs. So that's why I'm doing it. I think there needs to be someone at these clubs more that can do it and be there for them, confidential. And it's not even about it being professional, because I think it gets too professional at times when they get people in, and all these boys will want is probably a chat, just about life, just to open up. I met a guy the other day called Gerard, and he's called Gerard Brand, and like he's like a mentor and a lifestyle coach, right? And he was just like, the best thing to do is, if you're say like you've got a friend and they reach out to you and say, I'm struggling and this, the best thing you could do is not give them advice.
Yeah.
And when he told me that, I was like, shit, that, the first thing I'd do is probably try and give them advice, right? When he said that isn't the first thing you should do, is just keep them talking and let them open up. Don't give them advice, just let them speak and get it off their chest. And since then, it's kind of made sense to me, like, so it's little things like that. Boys will need those at the clubs, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's like lots of ways you could deal with it. You could, I think coaches are so focused on winning, even families sometimes, like you don't want to go to your own family because they like help set you up for a dream that you're pursuing and stuff like that. And maybe you get some pressure from your family, like everyone's family is different, So yeah, I could totally see why somebody in the club, that would be great. And yeah, I've found in my time as well that listening's the most important thing, isn't it? People maybe even know what they should do, but they just need somebody to like vent to or release it. It takes a weight off your shoulders, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about like your career now, in football, because I've seen you've gone to the National League, and it's unfortunate with COVID that the National League's been on and off, but how have you found it there? And I'm sure you're looking upwards to the future, maybe getting back into the EFL, where I know you belong because I've seen you play since you were a young lad. So yeah, like how do you how have you found the National League, and are you happy with your opportunities, and what do you see as your future now?
Yeah, the National League's been a real good year for learning. I kind of take this season as like just a learning curve season. I've never played in the National League before. People think this about it, people think that about it. You get all opinions, and you know what? It's a good league. There's some good players in the National League. And kind of with me, it was like, I didn't have a club, right? Because COVID hit, Coventry, my contract ran out there, like a lot of boys. Clubs weren't really taking anyone because of the whole COVID situation, financial situation they was in. And I'd kept myself in real good shape over COVID. I was doing these runs. I was able to go to a certain gym. Because obviously, I think if you was a pro athlete, you was allowed to still train. So I was doing all my training, and I was in like real good shape. So I knew when the opportunity came, I was kind of ready to take it. And then literally, Willstone just slid in my DMs. Imagine that. They've just messaged me, like the goalkeeper coach there. He's called Kirk. He messaged me and was just like, oh, we're interested in having you play for us this season. Like, would you be up for it? So the first thing I done was I just typed in Willstone to Safari. I was like, where are they? What league are they in? And I know they had that Willstone Raider guide, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what league are these in? And then it said National League. And I was like, oh, like, perfect. You know, National League, you can get back into the league if you know, you have a good season. So I went there, and I'm grateful to them because they gave me the opportunity. No one else did. And they reached out to me. So I'm real grateful to them for that. And then Bromley came and offered me, you know, a contract, which they were full-time. Willstone weren't. So I've gone from playing full-time, like my whole career, from being young Chelsea to like part-time football, which was like crazy, really. But like I said, like, you know, life puts you in that position. It is what it is. And then I went to Bromley, who are full-time again. They're not far from home. Like I said, I'm not an arrogant person, but I believe in myself, of course. So I know I can play in the football league easily. Like I know, like I've not been a footballer since I was however young. No disrespect to the National League, but just to play in there, I know I've got more I can play. You know, that's why I play football, to try and play in the league. So it's just about timing. It's a hard game. Like you see people drop out and then they stay out. So it isn't as easy as maybe people think, but I'll definitely be back in the league for sure.
You have to be relentless in your mindset as well. Just like never let go of it, like no matter how hard. Because I guess like a lot of people just give up. Like they just, you know, eventually they just lose the hunger for it. But you seem like you've got a lot of hunger in you. Like, you know, like your injuries have sort of knocked you down, but like they're not going to take you out. You know, that's the kind of mindset I get from you.
No, it is. You just got to think like, I've not put all my life into this now to quit. No way. You know what I mean? Like you know, sacrifice everything to be a footballer. You're not just going to quit on it. That's how I look at it. Like, I've still got so much more to go and give. And when I do make it back where I want to get to, then, you know, it's been a journey. It's been one hell of a journey, you know, and a story, if you like, of kind of all losing it all, getting it back. That's what I want, you know.
Who inspires you? Because there's been loads of players who've gone non-league but then gone back to the very top, the very, very top. We've seen Jamie Vardy bloody winning the FA Cup the other day. So who's inspired you, man?
Jamie Vardy's the one, and he's got to be, you know, for him to achieve what he's achieved. He's just a character as well, isn't he? So he's just, Jamie Vardy. You got like Tyrone Mings. Like you said, there's a few. You see it. You see stories of where they were, and you think, wow, what a journey they've had. So it's the good thing about football is it only takes like 6 months, and you get a move. You know, if you do well, you know, someone will take on a move. Don't even take a year, 6 months, and you can work your way back up. And I think that's the best thing about football is if you do drop down, it's proven that look how you can come back up.
Yeah. You've got that Chelsea education as well in you. Like that's never going to leave you. Like, you know, that's like in your brain, you know, the technical learning you've had the best coaching you could possibly, you know, get. And a lot of people you'll be playing against will be good in other ways, but they won't have had like what you've got. They won't have had the technical or tactical knowledge that you've got as well. So I think when you arrive at those levels, it's going to be great. But how much do you sort of like, how do you sort of take it seeing a lot of the boys doing well as well? Because I saw like Andreas Christensen posted a picture the other day and it had you in it and stuff like that. And like, you know, you're seeing the boys in the Champions League final, a lot of them you played with. How do you sort of feel for those boys? And even Nathan Ake, I think you played with him, didn't you? He's going to be on the City side. So how are you going to feel watching that, seeing the boys do well? And
yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it? You know, because to be honest, no one was really coming through at Chelsea when I was there.
Yeah.
Lampard's enabled players to come through, and all respect to them, they've kept their place since he's gone. And you know, Mason, Player of the Year, he's had an unbelievable journey. And obviously, you know, I grew up playing with Mason at the age groups. We did, you know, his mum and dad are lovely people. You know, got on really well with them, and it's just great to see someone that you've kind of gone with on a journey come up, and you know, they've gone all the way through. And you know, to be like you said, to be honest, there's a few people that I was playing with in my age groups that have gone on to play, whereas they weren't really happening before us. You know, John Terry was like the last person to come through the academy and stay in there. They had like Ruben Loftus-Cheek, you know, he made it, you know, a lot of appearances, but I mean, someone that really stayed in the team was John Terry, you know. So it's great to see. Obviously, Fig's gone to AC Milan, and fair play to him, because it's not easy to go abroad, play for a big club like that. You know, you've got to still produce on the day, and he's done that. So, you know, Fig's a great player. He's had experience. I think he went on loan to Brighton. Obviously, I'm from Brighton, so yeah, he went on loan there. He's managed to play under Lampard and at Derby, and you know, so Fig's another one. There's a lot. To be fair, there's a lot of them that have come through, so it's great to see.
Who was the best when you were in the academy?
Good question. The best player, I don't know. I think
I can tell you, I always get told Boga. A lot of people say Boga to me, but maybe even Charlie Masonda as well. But you get all different ones.
That's so weird you say that, because I was just about to say them too. I'll be honest, I was about to say that. I was going to say natural ability, you know, like that you see in training and think, wow, like what a player, you know. Jeremy Boga, because we used to go on, you know, tours as, you know, and used to be like, because I'm born in 1998, so like used to go with your age group, but I went on a couple of the 1997s, and obviously he was a younger one in his age group, so he used to be like the main 1997 guy. I remember the first time I see him play was on tour, and all the boys saying, "Oh, he's ridiculous." Like, I'd not seen him play before, because I'd probably just signed. I remember it was in Germany, and I see him play, and he just took this, like, just running past the whole team. And I remember these are the sort of things you do when you're playing with your mates at school, fucking running past everyone, or back in the Sunday League days, he was doing it against like top players and for their age group, and you know, in these big competitions abroad. And then Masunda, Char, unbelievable talent as well, and he's been through a lot. You know, he's had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
But you know, he's nearly back fit. I think I see on his Instagram the other day that he's nearly back, because I think he's missed loads of football. But natural ability wise, those two.
Yeah, I hope you know, obviously Boga's ripping it up in Sassuolo, but I hope that Charlie gets his shot either at Chelsea or some other, you know, good club, because you know,
I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, lastly, I just want to ask you, are you still a Chelsea fan? Are you going to support them in the final?
Good question. Yeah, do you know what? I was a Chelsea fan, funny enough, before I signed for them.
No way.
So like, I used to be that kid that used to like get goosebumps, you know, Champions League nights. I used to obviously go to the game with my dad, or we'd go around my dad's best friend's house, and he used to put this big projector up at his house, because he was a big Chelsea fan as well. And so I loved Chelsea. They were my team before I signed for them. So then when they said, "Oh, we want to take you in on a trial," it meant that bit more, because obviously it was like, you know, this is the team that I've supported beforehand, and you know, so yeah, obviously, of course, I want to see him do well.
Yeah, and for you to have trained with like Conte and John Terry and stuff like that, like, you know, that must have been stuff of dreams. Just to say that, like,
Yeah, cool.
You have had your beautiful moments as well as your tough times.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I you know, and that's why it's all positive, because I've been there. I've had some unbelievable career moments, you know, and I'm still yet to have some unbelievable career moments. But because I've had both ends of the scale, it's just important to kind of share kind of what I've been through a bit, only because I've been there and kind of experienced it. You know, I think it's important when if you're getting advice or whatever of someone that's been there and done it, I think you almost, not about respect, but because they've been there, you kind of listen more maybe. Yeah. So because I've been there, and you know, on both ends of scales, that's why I want to give kind of a bit of my advice on things, or any way I can help possible. That's the goal.
Yeah, I think you're a really brave guy for like sort of speaking about it and giving people that opportunity. And you're not only like just speaking about it for the sake of it, you're actually like doing something. You're actually like, you know, going to meet people, meeting people in Brighton, you know, having your DMs open to get contract offers, but also to get to look after people. So I think that's brilliant. So yeah, I hope I'm sure your like family's really proud of you as well. And like, you know, to them, I'm sure it doesn't matter if you're playing for Chelsea or Bromley, and you know that they know that you're going to rip it up wherever you go. So yeah, just keep working hard, mate.